cars that turn hearts. The 2026 Mercedes Mansory GLS 63 P850 doesn't just enter the road, it enters the bloodstream. From the first moment you see it, you know this isn't an SUV built for trends or traffic. It's a moving monument, a masterpiece sculpted for power, presence, and pure emotion, painted in a two-tone finish. It doesn't demand attention, it devours it. You don't just look at this SUV, you witness it. Because when your eyes lock onto its surface, the world behind it fades into silence. This isn't just another AMG, this is where emotion meets engineering. A machine that makes you feel before it even moves. It's poetry in motion. Mercedes hasn't remastered the past here, they've rewritten the future. The wine red upper glows like dusk, calm, royal, endless, while the black base absorbs light like liquid ink. Together they don't contrast, they collide, creating a cinematic profile so powerful it almost feels alive. The new body sits leaner, sharper, more intentional, a longer hood, a tighter stance, shoulders that look ready to pounce. Every curve feels measured, like it's breathing between heartbeats. The headlights? Slim crystalline blades, alive with micro LEDs that breathe, even at rest. The grille? Forget what you remember. It's now a shifting, illuminated mesh, glowing softly from within like molten metal cooling in a forge. And in the center, the blacked-out three-pointed star spins slowly on startup, as if time itself bends around it. From the side, it's all muscle and mystery. 24-inch twin-spoke forged wheels in satin jet black, wrapped around AMG red calipers that peek through like clenched fists. No badges shouting for attention, no chrome screaming for approval. Everything is designed to be discovered, not displayed. Door handles? Hidden. Side mirrors? Gone. Replaced by aerodynamic camera fins that feel more spaceship than SUV. And the rear. Oh, the rear. It doesn't end. It concludes. A sweeping LED light bar arcs across like a blade of light. Minimalist, deliberate, divine. And beneath it, twin vertical exhausts stacked in carbon fiber. A world first from Mansory, whispering that luxury doesn't have to be quiet. Step inside. And the transition feels spiritual. The doors glide, not open. And once you're inside, the world outside just stops. This isn't luxury anymore. This is transcendence. Black leather with wine red ambient lighting wraps around you like a memory of speed. Swede, forged carbon, and Napa leather breathe together in perfect harmony. Every surface responsive, every material alive. The seats are sculpted thrones designed for both comfort and combat. Dark crimson stitching catches the light like veins of power. The bolsters literally adapt to your posture. If you shift, they breathe. If you tense, they support. And the headrests? They tilt forward automatically when they sense fatigue. Because in this SUV you don't drive, you command. The dashboard is a panoramic OLED canvas, pillar to pillar. No gaps, no breaks. It reacts to your voice, your expression, even your heartbeat. It's more than a display, it's an emotion mirror. Switch to comfort mode. Everything softens, the lights breathe blue, and you glide. Go sport. The screen ignites with red pulse lines, the steering tightens, and the sound deepens into that AMG thunder. And then there's whisper mode, my favorite. At night, the whole cabin glows crimson and the sound fades to silence. Only your breathing, your heartbeat, and the road remain. Touch anything, it answers. Speak anything, it listens. Even the air vents float, literally. Suspended directional fans that adjust airflow on their own, reading where you need comfort before you realize it. Above, a panoramic roof made from electrochromic memory glass. It shifts between clear, opaque, or even sky overlays that mimic constellations or auroras. At night, it feels like you're driving through the galaxy itself. But the real symphony begins when you drive. Under the hood, a 4.0L twin-turbo V8 paired with a 200 kilowatt electric motor. Together, 850 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. That's not acceleration, that's teleportation. And the best part? The sound. You can choose it. Classic AMG thunder, whisper quiet electric hum, or something entirely new. Pulse mode. A living engine note that syncs with your heartbeat. Yes, it literally listens to you. Classic AMG thunder, whisper quiet electric hum, or something entirely new. Pulse mode. A living engine note that syncs with your heartbeat. Yes, it literally listens to you. The suspension doesn't just react to the road, it reads it. Crosswinds, neutralized, cornering, balanced. It's like the SUV knows what's coming before the world does. And when the drive ends and the silence returns, you realize something rare. You haven't just gone somewhere, you've felt something. Because the 2026 Mercedes Mansory GLS 63 P850 isn't just a car, it's an emotion machine. A reminder that technology can feel human, and that luxury doesn't need to scream. It can whisper confidence. This isn't Mercedes raising the bar. This is Mercedes moving it so far ahead that everyone else has to squint just to see it. And by the time they catch up, this SUV will already be gone, disappearing into the night, leaving nothing but a silhouette and a heartbeat. If you felt something while watching this, if this kind of storytelling, design, and future concept excites you, make sure to subscribe, because what's coming next will make this look like the beginning of a new era in automotive art. There are cars that demand your attention, and then there are machines that steal your breath before you even realize you're staring. The 2026 Lamborghini Huracan SUV belongs to the latter. The first time you see it, especially cloaked in deep matte black, it doesn't even look like a car. It looks like a vision. Something forged in shadows, born from a place where imagination and rebellion collide. It stands there like a myth brought to life, a predator disguised as luxury, a statement carved in steel and carbon fiber. In that instant, you know Lamborghini has rewritten the rules of performance, style, and presence in a single, unforgettable stroke. Imagine an icon reborn, not just stretched into the future, but elevated into another dimension entirely. The Huracan SUV isn't just Lamborghini building an SUV, it's Lamborghini daring the world to rethink what an SUV can be. Forget everything you think you know about practicality or compromise. This isn't a compromise, it's a declaration of war on mediocrity. Its stance, its silhouette, the matte black finish that doesn't reflect light, it devours it. Everything about it speaks a language only Lamborghini dares to speak. One glance tells you, this isn't a luxury toy. It's a machine sculpted for legends. SUVs are meant to look imposing. But the Huracan SUV? It looks predatory. The design is sharper, bolder, and completely unapologetic. The front fascia wears a fierce scowl, with dagger-like headlights slicing through the night. Every line feels deliberate, not just aerodynamic, but symbolic, like it's carving itself out of the ordinary world into something untouchable. This is not a city cruiser. It's a battlefield weapon dressed in elegance. The matte black paint turns into a character of its own. Under the light, it doesn't shimmer. It absorbs. It pulls everything into its orbit. It's stealth wrapped in grace, a shadow dressed as speed. Parked, it looks ready to pounce. In motion, it stalks, like a panther unleashed. And that's what Lamborghini does best, transforming metal and paint into emotion and soul. Then there's the sound. The Huracan SUV borrows the spirit of its coupe sibling, the same feral roar, refined and amplified to suit its massive frame. Press the ignition and the engine growls awake, deep, guttural, alive. Rev it, and it turns into a savage symphony, primal and intoxicating, like an opera written for the gods of speed. Lamborghini knows that sound isn't just noise, it's identity, it's seduction. It's a reminder that this machine isn't just powerful, it's alive. On the open road, the Huracan SUV doesn't blend into traffic. It announces itself like a storm. Its hybrid twin-turbo V8 doesn't whisper. It commands. The power is staggering. A wave of torque and speed that throws you forward with breathtaking precision. This isn't reckless energy, it's controlled chaos. The SUV doesn't just accelerate, it catapults. It grabs the road and bends it to its will. Corners that should make you nervous? You attack them. Straightaways become playgrounds. It's addictive. Step inside and you don't enter a cabin. You enter a cockpit. Every detail screams purpose. The dashboard isn't made to make you relax. It's made to make you feel alive. Sharp hexagonal lines, red accents glowing through carbon fiber and Alcantara. The interior feels like a jet fighter crossed with Italian artistry. The steering wheel is sculpted for control. The seats grip you like armor. And the digital cluster transforms depending on your mood. Refined in the city, wild on the track. Every switch, every paddle feels engineered to remind you. This isn't just an SUV with a badge. This is a Lamborghini. But what truly separates the Huracan SUV isn't just design, performance, or luxury. It's spirit. This machine refuses to fit into any category. It doesn't compete. It dominates. Porsche, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Bentley. They've all made SUVs, but none of them have dared to build this. Lamborghini hasn't made a car that feels like an SUV, or an SUV that feels like a car. They've built something completely new, something untouchable. Drive it through the city, and every head turns. Park it, and people stop. Phones come out, whispers begin. Take it to the mountains, and it devours terrain with impossible precision. On the track, it reminds you of its Huracan roots. Brutal, agile, alive. Wherever it goes, it owns the moment. But the real story is the emotion it gives you. Cars can be fast, cars can be beautiful, but few can move you. The Huracan SUV makes you feel untouchable. Like you're not just driving a machine, you're commanding a legend. It's not transportation, it's transformation. Not utility, freedom reborn. The 2026 Lamborghini Huracan SUV in matte black is more than a car. It's a message. A message that Lamborghini doesn't follow trends, it creates them. A message that you don't need to choose between practicality and passion. A message that some machines are not meant to be understood, only experienced. This isn't a car for everyone. It's for the dreamers, the rebels, the ones who still believe driving is about emotion, power, and art. Close the door, grip the wheel, hit the ignition. What follows isn't just a drive, it's a story. And that story begins with a roar that shakes not just the road beneath you, but something deep inside you, too. That's the magic of Lamborghini. That's the legacy of the Huracan. And now, reborn as an SUV, it's darker, sharper, and more unapologetic than ever. The world has never seen an SUV like this before, and maybe it never will again. The all-new 2026 Toyota Landcruiser, and let me just say it up front, this one right here feels like Toyota decided to mix pure luxury with beast-level power. Yeah, you heard that right. The new Landcruiser isn't just an SUV anymore. It's a statement. Now, before I dive into the crazy design, the engine, the tech, and all the luxury touches, let's answer what everyone wants to know first. Why should you even consider the 2026 Landcruiser? Because Toyota basically redesigned this legend from the ground up. It's built for the people who want a car that's as comfortable at a 5-star hotel as it is climbing a mountain trail. It's that balance between rough and refined, and honestly, that's something no other SUV nails quite like this one. Expected price? Toyota hasn't made it official yet, but early estimates put it around $60,000 to $75,000, depending on the trim and hybrid options. And yes, it's coming with a hybrid powertrain, so we're talking about better fuel efficiency, more torque, and a lot less guilt when you're filling up that tank. Now let's get into the good stuff. The design. Just look at this thing, man. It's like Toyota went, you know what? Let's make the Landcruiser look like it could take you to the future and still make you look classy doing it. The front bumper is completely reimagined. It's got this Rolls-Royce-inspired squared elegance, but the height and width still scream Landcruiser muscle. The chrome grille, massive. The Toyota logo, crystal clear, shining right in the middle. And my favorite part, those LED headlights. They've got this futuristic DRL pattern that honestly looks like something off a concept car. Step to the side and you'll notice the body lines. Clean, but powerful. Every curve and edge is designed to reflect light perfectly, especially in this glossy black paint. It's so shiny that in daylight, it almost mirrors the sky. The alloy rims? Absolute showstoppers. Thick, elegant, and futuristic. You can tell Toyota wanted this to turn heads before it even moves. Now the rear end. Yeah, buddy, this is where it gets bold. The taillights stretch out in a full-width LED bar. Looks super modern. And when you see it from behind at night, you just know that's the new Landcruiser. The rear bumper's huge, squared, and muscular. A perfect match to the front. And yeah, the number plate reads, Future Pro Cars, just to flex a little bit, you know? Now let's hop inside, and oh boy, this is where Toyota might surprise everyone. Because gone are the rugged, purely functional interiors. This new cabin feels premium, comfortable, and ultra-modern. We're talking about leather-wrapped seats, wood-trimmed panels, and metallic finish switches. The infotainment screen is massive, around 14 inches, running the latest Toyota interface with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and over-the-air updates. There's also a fully digital driver's display, ambient lighting, and even an optional panoramic sunroof that floods the cabin with light. And guess what? Toyota made sure the cabin insulation is on point. You can cruise on the highway at 80 mph, and it's whisper quiet inside. Now, let's talk about what's under the hood, because performance still matters. Expected to feature Toyota's 2.4-liter hybrid turbo engine, paired with electric assist, it's putting out an estimated 350 horsepower and massive torque. You'll get smooth power delivery, better off-road control, and surprisingly good fuel economy for an SUV this size. And of course, you've got Toyota's full-time 4WD system, multi-terrain modes, and hill assist controls. So yeah, this thing still knows how to climb, crawl, and conquer, even if it's dressed for a red carpet event. Let's not forget the tech and safety. Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 package includes everything. Adaptive cruise control, lane assist, blind spot monitoring, automatic braking, 360-degree surround cameras, parking assist. Basically, the car can almost drive itself. But what makes me love this SUV even more is how it blends emotion with practicality. Like, you could pull up to a luxury event in this car and everyone's staring. And the next day, you're off-roading through mud and snow like it's no big deal. That's the Landcruiser spirit. And Toyota just made it look better than ever. And yeah, buddy, I gotta say this, I love this black paint. It's bold, it's timeless, and when that sunlight hits it, it looks like liquid glass. Seriously, if you ever see this car in person, you'll know exactly what I mean. Toyota really went all in with this one. It's the kind of SUV that doesn't need to scream for attention. It just owns the road. And that's why I'm telling you, if you're in the market for something that's luxurious, capable, and future-proof, the 2026 Landcruiser might just be the one you've been waiting for. Now, I know it's not exactly official yet, but based on everything we've seen and heard, this design feels like the direction Toyota should take. And if they do, man, this SUV is going to dominate. So that's my take on the 2026 Landcruiser. What do you think, buddy? Do you like this direction? Would you buy it in this color or go for something else? Drop your thoughts below. I love reading your opinions. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive and appreciate the effort it takes to research these upcoming models, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and brings you more futuristic designs like this one. Alright, that's it. Silver and rose gold, spin like precision-cut jewels. The LED headlamps, with crystal detailing, cut through the night like the eyes of a predator that never sleeps. Walk to the rear, and the tail design feels almost architectural, a blend of grace and authority. The light bar glows like molten glass, stretching across the sculpted back like a signature written in fire. Step inside. And you don't enter a car. You step into a realm. A place where craftsmanship meets serenity, where every surface whispers refinement. The white and red dual-tone Napa leather, stitched with diamond precision, feels less like upholstery and more like couture fashion. The Maybach logo, embossed elegantly across the headrests, glows faintly in ambient light, a subtle reminder that this is not transportation, it's experience. The digital cockpit spans seamlessly across the dash, alive with futuristic animations that respond to your touch. Every screen, every dial, breathes sophistication. No clutter, no compromise. And in the back is where the magic truly begins. The executive rear seats recline at the press of a button, massaging away the concept of fatigue. A champagne cooler rests between them, wrapped in brushed aluminum and crystal. The ambient lighting, customizable to over 60 hues, pulses gently like the rhythm of calm. You don't sit in this Maybach, you reign in it. But beneath this quiet luxury beats the heart of a beast, an 800 horsepower twin-turbo V8. Open the door, and the world outside fades away. You're no longer in traffic. You're entering an atmosphere. The footrests rise. The panoramic roof fades to a starlit hue. And suddenly, the world outside ceases to matter. A crystal champagne cooler sits between the rear passengers, flanked by fold-out tray tables trimmed in polished wood. You could be 30,000 feet in the air, but you're still grounded in Maybach luxury. The Burmester 4D surround sound system turns every drive into a private concert. You don't listen to music here, you feel it. Violins shimmer in space. Bass notes resonate through your chest, and every note sounds as if the orchestra is performing right beside you. This isn't an SUV cabin, it's an experience chamber. Technology in the GLS 800 doesn't overwhelm you, it assists you. The MBUX AI system learns from your habits, adjusting lighting, temperature, and even your favorite playlists automatically. The Cruise Pilot and City Drive Suite handle urban traffic with elegance. In congested downtown streets of London or New York, it glides effortlessly, sensing every movement around it. The air suspension reads the road 1,000 times per second, adjusting ride height and damping before you even feel a bump. On the highway, it lowers itself for aerodynamic perfection. In the city, it rises gently for comfort. Even in chaos, the Maybach creates calm. But beneath all this serenity lurks a powerhouse. The 4.0-liter bi-turbo V8, tuned to deliver 800 horsepower, is a masterpiece of engineering balance. Acceleration is not explosive, it's inevitable. 0 to 60 in just 3.8 seconds, with the kind of smoothness that feels like time itself bends for you. The 9G-tronic transmission delivers power with silk-smooth precision. The 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system ensures every ounce of torque is translated into poised, unstoppable momentum. And yet, it's whisper quiet, the voice of someone who doesn't need to shout to be heard. Engineered to deliver seamless dominance, acceleration here isn't an act of rebellion, it's an act of inevitability. Press the pedal, and the horizon folds toward you in silence. No drama, no roar, just authority. A performance wrapped in velvet. This is Maybach mastery at its peak. Mercedes engineering, Kahn's artistic design, and future Procar's vision of tomorrow's luxury, fused into one living, breathing creation. In a world obsessed with being louder, faster, flashier, this car teaches restraint. It proves that true power doesn't need to shout. It simply arrives, and the world falls silent. The 2026 Mercedes Maybach GLS 800 in Red Luxury Edition is more than a car. It's a statement, a mirror to human ambition, a moving sculpture that will define an era. It doesn't just move you through the world, it moves the world around you. This is not luxury, this is legacy. The 2026 Maybach GLS 800, a sovereign reborn for the future. You've been watching Future Pro Cars, where the next generation of automotive art comes to life. If you felt that presence, subscribe, because the future has only just begun. but because the 2026 Lexus RX 600h Coupe, in this matte gray finish, carries a kind of quiet dominance that sneaks up on you. It does not shout. It does not beg. It does not dance for attention. It exists with this calm, confident gravity. And before you know it, your entire mind is locked onto it. And, there are cars that come and go, cars you forget the moment you walk past them. And then there are cars that feel like they shift the air around them the second they appear. The RX 600h Coupe belongs to that second category. It has that strange magnetism you can't fully explain, the kind that makes you slow down. Look again and think, wait, what exactly am I looking at? I remember standing there beside it, the sun falling across those smooth matte gray panels. Feeling that sensation you get when something familiar suddenly becomes unfamiliar in the best way possible. This is still an RX, but it's also not an RX. It's something else entirely. Something bolder. Something that feels like Lexus finally whispered to itself, "Go on, break the rules." The stance was the hook for me. The rear looks almost predatory, sitting low and wide. The quad exhaust squares tucked into a carbon-infused diffuser that looks like it was borrowed from a fighter jet. The taillight stretches like a razor line across the back, emphasizing the sculpted hips of the coupe profile. And the front? Lexus blended their classic design language with a sharpness I didn't expect. The headlights look like narrowed eyes sizing you up. The spindle grille is darker, deeper, more menacing than ever. It's as if Lexus took their calm persona and finally let it misbehave. What struck me is how alive the whole body feels. Every surface looks sculpted rather than stamped. Every angle feels intentional. And this matte gray color. This isn't playful. This isn't friendly. This is mature, controlled, centered. When sunlight hits it, the car looks like it's made of some restricted alloy from a classified facility. It suits the personality perfectly. Walking around it, you notice the little details. The wheel arches have this pronounced shape, hinting at performance. The shoulder line dips just enough to catch light dramatically. And the rear quarter angle is the kind of view designers obsess over in a studio. The roof taper, the muscular rear, the rising belt line. It all clicks perfectly. You can almost hear someone saying, "That's it, don't change anything." Then there's the front bumper, carved like a sculptor worked on it by hand. The openings have depth, layers, shadow. It feels alive even when parked. The LED strips give the car a permanent focused expression. Some cars look mean only when the engine fires up. The RX 600h Coupe looks focused even when asleep. Step inside, and the mood changes in the most Lexus way possible. Outside, the car feels like a silent storm. Inside, it feels like a luxury meditation chamber crafted with precision. Lexus has always done good interiors, but this time they built something that feels almost architectural. Smooth lines, dark materials, soft illumination, everything arranged with purpose. The seats hold you gently but firmly. The steering wheel has perfect thickness. The screens are crisp without overwhelming the cabin. It's luxurious without being loud, futuristic without feeling cold. It has that timeless Lexus calm, upgraded with a new edge. But what truly matters is the intention behind this car. It's not an RX with a coupe roof slapped on. It's Lexus pushing emotional design further than they ever have, without abandoning their identity. It's not trying to copy the BMW X6 or Mercedes GLE coupe. It's carving its own personality, refined, sharp, quietly aggressive. On the road, you can imagine how the hybrid system pushes it forward like a rising wave. Lexus hybrids don't punch, they glide, building power gracefully. The RX 600h Coupe doesn't try to be a track toy. It tries to be balanced, athletic without harshness, confident without drama. The suspension likely gives you that signature Lexus glide, with just enough firmness to remind you this is a coupe SUV with intent. And this matte gray finish transforms everything. The light slides across the body in soft waves. The shadows deepen the sculpting, making the whole car feel more cinematic, more deliberate. Matte paint usually hides curves. Here, it enhances them. If paint could speak, this one would say, "I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to exist." The rear, again, demands attention. The quad exhausts tucked into that sharp diffuser give it a rebellious edge Lexus usually avoids. The taillight bar is clean and thin. The spoiler sits just right, subtle but meaningful. It has that slight concept car energy, the kind that makes you stare at it longer than you expect. This is a coupe SUV for people who don't need attention, but know exactly how to command it when they want to. It's for someone who doesn't want a loud machine shouting for validation. It's for someone who appreciates power delivered with discipline, design delivered with intention, confidence delivered quietly. For me, the RX 600h Coupe represents a new era for Lexus. Not a loud reinvention, but a confident evolution. A willingness to push the envelope without tearing it. To sculpt, refine, and explore new emotional territory without losing their core identity. And honestly, that's why this thing went viral the second people saw it. Because it isn't just another luxury SUV. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives just like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes a lot of time and effort to create, edit, and craft this content for you, and your support helps keep it alive. In the realm of machines. And then there are legends whispered about, worshipped, immortalized. The 1968 Ford Mustang Eleanor is one of those. A myth on four wheels, a name that carries more weight than most supercars combined. To even utter it is to conjure an aura of rebellion, freedom, and desire. Now imagine that legend reborn, not as a fragile relic of cinema, not as a piece of nostalgia, but as something entirely new, something nobody thought possible. The 2026 Ford Mustang. Eleanor 1968 edition SUV, draped in shimmering silver, is not just a car, not just a reimagining. It is the impossible made metal. And the very first glance will leave you speechless. This isn't a retro toy. This isn't a tribute. This is Eleanor. Alive again, grown larger, prouder, more intimidating than ever. Standing tall in SUV form, staring down the world with the kind of confidence that makes rivals from Lamborghini to Ferrari wonder if Ford has completely rewritten the rules of passion and power. And here's where disbelief turns into awe. The moment your mind tries to catch up with what your eyes are witnessing. They didn't ruin Eleanor by scaling her up. They elevated her into something mythical, a figure carved from fantasy and forged into reality. The sculpted silhouette of the 2026 Eleanor SUV doesn't just reinterpret history, it bends it. It blends the haunting elegance of the 1968 fastback with the brute, earth-shaking posture of a modern performance SUV. Silver paint ripples across the stretched body like liquid mercury, while the roofline whispers the past but roars the future. Every angle is adrenaline. Every curve is a challenge. A machine that makes Porsche Cayenne drivers quietly rethink their purchase, that makes Trackhawk owners swallow their pride, that even makes the mighty Aston Martin DBX feel suddenly polite. Eleanor wasn't supposed to be touched, yet here she stands, reforged into a new weapon of desire. Walk around this SUV and you feel like you're circling a legend that knows it has returned to reclaim its throne. The silver body catches sunlight like it's performing for an audience, as if Eleanor is fully aware she has risen again after decades of silence. The front fascia is all Mustang, but it has been reimagined with a sharper jawline, broader shoulders, and the kind of presence that stops people mid-sentence. The headlights don't just glow, they stalk. Predatory, focused, almost alive. The grille, shrouded in dark chrome, wears the Eleanor identity with a confidence that doesn't need permission. Every vent carved with intent. Every line drawn for dominance. Park it beside a Range Rover and the Rover feels shrink-wrapped. Put it next to a Lamborghini Urus, and the Urus suddenly feels like it's trying to compete with its older, wiser, angrier sibling. Eleanor doesn't beg for attention. She demands the world to adjust around her. Step inside and the legend deepens. The interior of the 2026 Eleanor SUV blends muscle car nostalgia with futuristic luxury in a way no one saw coming. Black dominates the cabin because rebellion always starts in the dark. Silver accents surf along the dashboard and doors, echoing the body outside, tying the past and present in one continuous line. Drop into the driver's seat and it doesn't feel like sitting. It feels like being claimed by a story decades in the making. The dashboard offers modern digital freedom, but framed with 1968 Eleanor attitude. The steering wheel is more than material, it's symbolic. The moment your hands grip it, you're holding history, cinema, rebellion, and the future all at once. Technology fills the cabin, but nothing feels excessive or gimmicky. Everything is intentional. Everything is driver-centric. The digital cluster blends modern sharpness with subtle callbacks to classic 60s gauges. a secret handshake from Ford to the true believers. Technology fills the cabin, but nothing feels excessive or gimmicky. Everything is intentional. Everything is driver-centric. The digital cluster blends modern sharpness with subtle callbacks to classic 60s gauges. A secret handshake from Ford to the true believers. On the road, the Eleanor SUV becomes more than numbers or stats. It becomes an experience, a story being written with every throttle press, every curve, every breath. Steering is sharp with Mustang DNA threaded through its veins. Suspension is adaptive, mastering city streets, high-speed runs, mountain roads, and midnight cruises. You don't just drive this machine. You connect with it. You command it. And when the world blurs into silver streaks as the SUV launches ahead, you don't feel like you're piloting a vehicle. You feel like you're piloting a legend reborn. What Ford has done borders on madness but feels like destiny. To reshape something so sacred, so deeply rooted in automotive culture, should have been impossible. And yet here it is, bold, reverent, breathtaking. The 2026 Mustang Eleanor 1968 edition SUV is not a compromise. It is a declaration. It honors its history while threatening the present. It forces even the giants of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Mercedes to acknowledge that heritage, when transformed with courage, becomes untouchable power. Eleanor has always been about spirit, defiance, and living louder than the world allowed. And in SUV form, she magnifies that legacy beyond anything the past could hold. This isn't just a new Mustang. It isn't just a new Eleanor. This is a legend reborn, silver-skinned, unstoppable, and demanding to be remembered not for what she was, but for what she has become. The 2026 Ford Mustang Eleanor 1968 edition SUV proves that some legends don't just survive. They return stronger, louder, wilder, and more untouchable than ever. And if you want more rewrites like this, make sure to subscribe. It takes real time, passion, so subscribe me.